What a fucking
In all my years of being on YouTube, I have seen it all. To the most wholesome, to the most infamous that the platform had to offer. Whether that was cynical,
I Austin Powers about for a
I don't look like fucking Austin Powers.
or it was something that was so funny but so crude, no matter how wrong it was, you found it extremely funny.
Self. You fucking stupid bitch! This stupid fucking justice, all fucking righteous fucking nigga!
However, there's some things in our world that we find particularly strange. Whether that is an obscure image from the 90s that is now recognizable by creepypasta fandoms to this day, with the origins of the photo still being a mystery, or lost footage of media that you knew that probably existed, but somehow kept a Mandela effect on you, making you want to dive deeper into the rabbit hole as soon as it goes. And as soon as you cornered that bunny rabbit, and you looked at all the trails that is laid down before you, you realize on how much information that you have on your hands. And today's video subject is going to be one rabbit hole. Never in my entire YouTube career that have speedrun themselves so quick to lockout status. It is just baffling. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I was there spectating, witnessing the whole fustercluck. Now I'm starting running back, seeing daylight to tell you the pitiful ballad of the White Bowser. Let's go! Earl Doobie was born on the mid-year of 1993. Not much is known throughout Earl's childhood. Earl would claim that he would be bullied for his autism, but since Earl himself is an unreliable source of information, which you're gonna find out later on in this video, I'm just gonna go on a limb and said that he had a fair life. Huh. I've noticed lack of a father figure. I'm sure that there's no long-term consequence. However, what we do know is that he went to college at Lawrence Technical University at Southfield, Michigan. Here, he would make many friends. One of these was an African-American named Ricky, who would become Earl Doobie's closest friend. Earl Doobie would also pick up the name The White Bowser, which you can still find on his website right here, along with some of his archived videos that he did while staying in college.
Line up, smoking. It's been going on for centuries in the late 19th century.
We're actually getting some pretty good stuff here.
What? I can't hear you, it's all windy in Michigan.
I already finished.
Speak up, damn it! With all of this out of the way, Earl would graduate from LTU with a degree in IT. And also furthermore, wait, hold on, pause right here. I'm cutting in the middle of the video right now, but I just want to let you know, this screenshot right here, I made a hoodie out of this. But going back on main subject, Earl Doobie was able to start on his own YouTube career. This included how to twerk,
biologically born with an X and a Y chromosome, you have to know how to do the pelvic thrust. And I've seen a lot of people be unable to do the pelvic thrust correctly. So this episode of Dance Lessons is to show you the correct way to do the pelvic thrust. Well, most people, when they do the pelvic thrust, do this.
Okay then. Some music videos in his brony sona.
Don't need to conform to being gay for you. Commandment 5 is clear. Abortion is a sin. Be a savage like Bowser. Be a savage like Bowser. I'll be a savage.
Those are some mad beats, yo.
And of course, doing some A-logging and V-logging, which I have never heard this one before. Earl Doobie was in the pony and the anime community, in which he made music videos, if you want to call them that. He was so talented, quote unquote, that he was at BronyCon 2017. Yes, the same one that Chris Chan was in. And he was on a music competition and came at second place because that's how good his music was. Honestly, at this rate, he's already making a name for himself. However, things aren't always good as they appear. I want to bring a quote from Earl Doobie's website. Weakness is defined as your... Wait. Hold on. I forgot something. Hold on. Weakness is defined as your failures overruling you, and your strength is defined as you overruling your failures. I want you to remember this quote right here, because I will bring it on the background so many times, where Earl Doobie will roll around in his failures so many times that it will become so cynical and pathetic in this video. And come late 2022 to now, it will take Earl Doobie's life in a whole other turn. Let's go! You see, Earl Doobie's the type of guy in the universe that you can't agree with his opinion. Only if you pretend to care, he'll get this sort of smug-ass attitude that is both condescending and thinks he's the high and almighty Jesus. And probably a reason why he's Catholic. And let me tell you, he will remind you that he is a man of God, despite not proving it to himself or others around him. But one particular day, he was staying at a Discord server ran by a niche commentator channel that mainly covers lolcows called Smokey McCrack. During a VC call in this server, people would joke around at Earl, of course making fun of him of the way he looks, how he talks, and his antics of being an asshole. The silly users would ask the White Bowser, "Hey White Bowser, what is the most not safe for work content that you have ever viewed in your entire life?" Earl Doobie was not hesitant to answer that question. His answer was Freezing, a show about a superhero girls that have genetic modifications to their butts and breasts, making them 4 times as bigger than normal, and Chihuahua on a Monday, about a 15-year-old girl with also enhanced breasts getting groomed by a businessman in his mid-20s. Those were all White Bowser's words, not mine. Now everyone obviously is very disgusted that he would watch this type of content with this type of context. Earl Doobie would make the most infamous statement in defense of all this. He would quote on saying, "Oh, it's just cartoons." It would not work to change the people's opinions. On another occasion of degeneracy, an army veteran of Smokey McCrack's Discord server discussed on how hard it was being back on States, and that how he was having a hard time physically, emotionally. Earl Doobie not even serving a goddamn thing in his life. If he really feels that bad about himself, that he should go KYS. People in the chat were more furious this time on White Bowser. White Bowser quickly left the Discord server and claimed to other people the reason why he left was because he was banned, leaving out the fact that he told a veteran to go kill themselves. He also did the 120 IQ moment by pinging Smokey on Twitter and saying that his ban was unfairly justified. Now Smokey covering lolcows, what does he do at this situation? Does he just ignore it and just go back to his family's Christmas party so he can get high for the weekend? Yeah, he would. But as soon as more stuff was found out of the White Bowser, it got Smokey's attention. It wasn't long before the White Bowser that Earl would have trolls. And not only just trolls, but buddy trolls too. And these buddy trolls convinced Earl Doobie that Smokey McCrack was in a content farm, or some sort of Illuminati content farming ring, in which Cyrax faked all of his fake outs, Music Biz Marty would interview him, and then Smokey McCrack would just review it all. This is so dumb, but Earl Doobie fell for it face value.
What would you say if I have proof that Music Biz Marty, Cyrax, and Smokey McCrack are collaborating together? But you don't have to say anything, in fact. I blocked the live chat because I know that there are psychopaths out there, or out there, that are gonna try to manipulate this live stream and, you know, threaten more people's lives. One giant content farm. I think the proper word for this would be known as, what I call it with Pete? I called it, I called it, oh yeah, a homegrown American version of those Chinese streaming factories.
Earl would also post about these videos in which he claims that he is not a pedo fork. I don't know why you wanna make those types of videos that also incriminate yourself on how much of a weirdo you are, but sure, go ahead, be my guest.
The DSM-5 definition of a pedophile is, the medical definition is, an adult who does not sleep. They actively, they purposefully hunt, stalk, prey, and traumatize real children. A real pedophile is egocenic. They feel no remorse for their actions because it is who they are. I, Earl Doobie, am ego alien. I was so utterly disgusted and repulsed by what you sadists said about me and accused me of that I had a full-blown anxiety attack, and now I am taking a new medication to stop it from ever happening again.
Oh, I forgot to mention, he also doxes his therapist and his doctor's full name. So that's why you're gonna hear and see some censored faces and censored voicing.
So here you can see the entire message I wrote out to my psychiatrist, Dr. Let's see what his response is. By two doctors who have 20 plus years of medical experience, unlike you single-celled brain individual trolls, that I am not a pedophile, and I want to make it utterly clear, definitively, if any human being ever accuses me of being a pedophile ever again, then yes, I can legally sue them for character defamation, slander, and emotional damage. That means you too, Chris Hansen. Stop attacking people for jacking off to Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah, interesting last comment there, Doobie. Chris Hansen doesn't purposely come to predators and say, hey, do you want to touch me or do you want to do this to me? He's just a reporter who might be a little controversial nowadays that lure in predators that go after children.
The basis of this claim is that I admitted that I found scenes from the Japanese cartoons called Tawawa Monday and Freezing to be sexually attractive. For context, the female cartoon characters in this anime are portrayed and drawn to be hypersexualized on purpose by the manga artists. But on that basis alone, that labels me as a pedophile because those females in the cartoon are below the age of 18.
But like I said, Earl Doobie would get his ironic wish of attention. Not towards Smokey MC, no, because Smokey at this point has made a video on the White Bowser that now has been taken down by none other than the White Bowser himself, because he just can't handle the real truth being told about him. But you can always find the archive channel. And it would gain a lot of eyes on the White Bowser. So much so that people found out where he lived. And it was very easy too, because his full name was on his YouTube channel and on his LinkedIn profile pic. And he wants to claim that public information that he made on the internet is illegal to obtain. Which, ladies and gentlemen, it's on him if he makes that public on himself. But throughout all of this attention, it would also come to life of one other content creator that also does lolcow videos. His name would be Kiwi Tapes. And Kiwi Tapes, with the help of the White Bowser, would create the 110 Autism podcast. However, this podcast was a trap that was set up by Smokey and Kiwi Tapes. You see, Kiwi Tapes, Smokey McCrack, and a few other people from their communities made up this plan. People would pay to be up in the panel to ask any host with any questions, no matter how brutal it was. But before I continue this part of the video, there's something else that you should know about White Bowser here. You see, he believes in this boob conspiracy. This was found out by a troll user, later on White Bowser archiver, Froggy Donut. But his boob conspiracy, well, I'm just gonna let you play the clip here.
Fucking get this. You ever wonder why women like eating ice cream? You ever wonder why?
Is it because it has sugar in it? Is it anything to do with the sugar in it?
No.
Oh, really?
This is why women always eat ice cream. One, ice cream is frozen milk. And milk just happens to be one of the foods that naturally increases the size of their breast.
So you're saying that I'm
literally a conspiracy, okay?
If I keep up my ice cream habit, I'm gonna grow tits?
No, this is particularly towards females.
Oh.
Particularly it's a literal Illuminati conspiracy, okay?
Okay, I got it.
Grocery stores specifically market the ice cream towards the women so they can increase the size of their breasts. It's a literal conspiracy.
Really, like, I don't see that's a bad thing. Really, I mean, don't we want our women to have bigger breasts?
Jake.
I'm just saying, like,
is there anything that can increase my ass?
Well,
like covered in surgery.
They also say seafoods. They also say seafoods and certain fruits and olive oil can do it too. But you see, here's the real kicker. Here's the freaking real kicker that men and women have to realize. Okay, women can influence the size of their reproductive organs.
Wholesome. Very wholesome. And remember, this is the same guy that watches 15-year-olds with sexualized imagery. And remember when I said that this guy went to BronyCon 2017 and was at a music video contest? Well, when he sat down to a pube next to a cosplayer, in which he said, "I am sitting next to the hottest girl in all of BronyCon," and which, rightfully so, the cosplayer felt extremely uncomfortable and left. Also in that contest, Earl Doobie got second place by a girl who was struggling through social problems. Later on, Earl Doobie would go to the My Little Pony subreddit telling this girl that she could go off herself, that he deserved the reward and no one else. This obviously got him kicked out of the brony community. He was also kicked out of many communities too, like BigBoobs.Reddit, where he would constantly ask inappropriate questions about women who have bigger than normal breasts, and it would be absolutely disgusting. But going back onto the interview panel, White Bowser, Smokey McCrack, Kiwi Tapes, and even...
You slanderous troll.
Come on, jeez.
Oh,
jeez, the six. All right, Liquid.
It's just some guy.
This is Liquid Chris, right?
I am the
This is Mr. Chandler.
Mr. Sonichu himself. Let's go. During the interview, Bowser would get constantly grilled
against military personnel and people who do drugs, and then you just simply replied with, "Please make it fast. I have to sleep."
Well,
You're a dick.
No. That at that point it was when that happened.
You go to sleep at 8:30 in the evening? That seems kind of early.
Wait, was that really when I met? Well, actually, at the time the part where I said that was because I was I don't.
At least.
What do you mean by train?
Pretty honest, Smokey. Don't even worry about it.
Tourette's.
I'm drinking out of my water bottle.
Okay, so Chihuahua on Monday is about
On it.
Just talk, dude. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
A young. Honestly, I don't know whether to call her a girl or a woman because the anime.
Well, is she in high school?
That's the thing. It could be a high school, it could be a college. It's never said if it's a high school or a college in the anime.
Huh.
That's why I want to ask Goon. I want to ask Goon how he got their ages and if it's a college or a high school, because that is never said in the anime anywhere. But anyway,
I don't know why the fuck you think I know that. I wasn't the one that brought that up, man. I don't know where the fuck you think I brought that up.
No, motherfucking Goon.
Say something. I promise you guys. This is Bowser. I have a video of yours called. I have it downloaded called "Anime vs. Pedophilia," and in it you say that you watch two shows called Chihuahua on a Monday, another one called Freezing, and you say that the artist depicts them as 17-year-old girls.
Yeah, that's for freezing, not for Tawawa.
But you do admit that one of them at least is 17-year-old.
Right. One of yes.
Lars McNulty here in chat is saying that Tawawa is 14, I think. So
I want to know the source on that. I seriously want to know the source on that.
I mean, I'm sure there's a fandom. I'm sure there's a fandom wiki that has it. Let me look it up.
Okay, hold on. I just wanted to be stated, in the time that it took me to fucking hear him rattle off all this, I actually looked up the wiki. 15 going into 16.
Is that serious?
We were just finishing up with Tawawa. I have a couple.
Oh, okay. So go ahead.
Like, what is it about Tawawa? You said you like the art style. You know, you said Tawawa.
It's mostly just the tits, dude. It's mostly just the tits.
It's mostly just the tits.
Mostly just the tits. But you just said it's messed up. The manga artists draw them that way.
Well, I mean.
Bowser, it's a bit inconsistent.
Bowser, you gotta admit something right now, bro. You gotta be honest with me, alright? You gotta be honest with me.
Okay.
You're saying this because you don't want to have to admit that it's fucked up. You are attracted to that, but you do not want to admit it right now. Am I true? Am I saying facts?
But everything started to spice up when the Cow Wrangler shows up. And when the Cow Wrangler shows up, you know he's gonna be there to wrangle some law cows.
Bowser, she's a child. At the end of the day.
Know anybody better. She's a child. You are a full-grown adult. You should know better. Well, this is deplorable behavior, Mr. Bowser. You're like Cyrax.
And Mr. Chandler, as you can tell, this man in particular preys on women because he's a no-good degenerate. The fact that he likes to praise that he's a Catholic, he's a good, righteous man, is bullshit.
Exactly, yeah.
He is nothing more than someone who uses the name just to feel big and good about himself. He likes to go into those subreddits and preach and pray and try to look holy. Bowser, God doesn't like you. You have made people miserable.
Oh, man. I want to go smoke a cigarette.
I'm puffing the Nick right now, bro. I'm fuck. Ooh.
I'm gonna have to get more beers.
Is it gonna? Yo, hey, third round's on me, bro.
Oh no, dude.
Hey, fuck,
You've already
cigarette money, you little shit.
Cigarette
Bowser,
money.
You have
Marlboro.
made it so difficult for many different women. People remember things like this. You will be remembered not as a good man, but as someone who scares women, who scares people, who goes around and spreads his degeneracy without anyone wanting it. And I'm just going to emphasize it again. Chihuahua does say that I is 15. It emphasizes that she's in high school. And you still jerked off to it.
I mean, I looked at the wiki. I mean, it does say that.
Is that true, Bowser? Is Chihuahua 15?
Oh, I actually sent you the link to the wiki, Kiwi. So I figured that would help you out a little bit.
Okay.
I sent it to everyone in here, I believe, because I wanted to make sure that everyone was well aware of who they were talking to. And that girl, besides from her obnoxious breast, looks like a child. She looks like a 15-year-old. Her friends look like children. So the fact that you sexualize her and you make comments about dreaming about turning into her is so interesting.
Uh-oh! Retard alert! Retard alert!
Oh, the Bowser. Well, no, I think... Oh, fellas. I don't mean to exacerbate the wound here.
Away, fucking stop!
Well,
Bowser, guys.
Fucking hell!
Bowser,
okay.
Bowser.
Go ahead,
fucking hell! Fucking stop!
Bowser, come on, dude. Remember, like I said, dude, this is a podcast. We're just chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, Mitchie, he's also gonna be in my Sanchu comic.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
What, is he gonna be a villain, or is he's gotta be a villain?
Definitely a villain. I see Mr. Bowser so excited he's crying tears of joy.
So after pretending to have a mental breakdown, claiming that he needs to take his medication, and saying that he was a man of God, that he wouldn't do any of this, he would make the following video stating that everything was Smokey McCrack's fault, his fans' fault, and that he was a caged animal inside. Take a listen to this sad man trying to garner sympathy.
It was an agreement that I have received absolution. That means I'm free from punishment and everything, okay? Now please, I'm begging of anyone who is listening to this video, Don't target me. Don't say I support or like to look at things or pray at things. Don't falsely support me of, self-harm. And don't force me support that I want the death of certain types of people. Please, please, leave me alone, okay? You have to.
We do not care.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Alyssa, leave me alone! I'll pay you $500! Well, yeah, Earl, you can't be sorry when you did this the same month.
I support veteran suicide.
At this point, I think we all know that Earl's a major piece of shit that pulls something out of his ass. Like having, fantasized girls have bigger boobs by feeding them ice cream and milk, and trying to normalize them sexually. I mean, this guy is worse than Flamenco TV! And that's saying a lot. It's just weird that he likes this already, alright? But listen, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here. Sure, he might like the sexualization of little girls. He wouldn't, go up to some girl and just puts his hands on him. Would he? Would he?
If this was such an accident, Bowser, why do you have a history of preying on women?
I don't!
Oh, you do, Bowser. In fact, you do. It's actually really well documented. There's a cosplayer. There's the Reddits that you've been ran out of. And let's not forget the girl that you groped. So you clearly have a history where you're going
I fucking don't, you fucking psychopath! Oh, who the fuck am I kidding?
I got a bucket of chicken.
You hear about sexual harassment on TV, and it makes the headlines in newspapers.
Now, I want to start 2 years ago with the story. Jane Doe was working at the AMC movie theater, and all was going well and swell, until she felt someone's hands groping her breast. It was Earl Doobie. Earl would be immediately fired, rightfully so. In fact, I don't even know why Earl wasn't even arrested, which he should have been, because the girl was 17 and Earl Doobie was 28. Earl would obviously lose many friends after that incident, if he had any at all. But luckily, if you want to say that, Earl still has Ricky as his best friend. In order to comfort Earl, Ricky said this: "You didn't need that job. You would be better without it, and you could find something better." However, Earl took it in another direction. You see, Earl with his 120 IQ took this as an insult to his inferior mind, and then proceeded to call Ricky the hard R.
We must use ER.
Permanently ending their friendship. After that incident, Earl Doobie would make the following post on his own Reddit titled "The Day My Life Turned Into an Anime." However, if you go to r/TheWhiteBowser, you will find an exact same copied, but this time it's titled "The Day Earl Doobie Became a Local Predator." I'm gonna read snippets of this 5-page communist manifesto here. The real link is down in the description below. She turned around faster than lightning and said, "You better hustle." And yes, I'm not even sure that's what she even said, but I don't fucking remember. Also, when she turned around, breakneck speed, my hand was moved to grabbing the back of her shoulder. And yes, this happened in the span of all 5 seconds. When she stormed off, I was standing in shock with all my coworkers behind me, and they were looking at me, and all I could say was, I should have not done that. The rest of the night went very awkwardly. I started cleaning my station. I couldn't help to find the girl I touched anywhere. A few minutes later, my boss told me to go home. So I drove home saying in my head, what just happened? What did I just do? After my boss visibly expressed his rage told me, I signed up the papers and returned my spot to the popcorn counter. Of course, you can imagine it. It felt like a bowling ball in my stomach. The kind of feeling where you get when you know that you're in hell and you can't get out. So I served a few customers popcorn, told my coworker, I was going to take a 30-minute break. This should have been already a red flag because I've never do that. But my coworker said okay and took my spot at the popcorn counter. I immediately walked to the back. I clocked out, took off my uniform, threw it on the table, and walked out without saying a word to anyone. And I drove home, crying. I mean it. I also didn't help. My house was 2 miles away from my job. But I digress. 3 weeks later, I returned back to the movie theater, just to say hi to all of my friends, and maybe jack off to a few kids that look like Chihuahua. I knew I couldn't ask my job back, and I didn't want to. Even though one of my coworkers said, you could literally still work. What the fuck, dude? No way that they actually said this. They probably just fucking said, hey, get the fuck out of here, Earl. But this movie theater saga isn't over just yet. You see, in one of his anime music videos that he would always do, someone made a comment saying, don't go to any AMC movie theater after everybody has learned that the White Bowser has groped a 17-year-old. And let me ask you something. When someone asks you to stop going to an AMC movie theater, what do you do during that time? Do you just ignore the comment? Or do you just research on the AMC movie theater's ratings and see if they are actually that bad? Their greasy popcorn machines and all the dead rats in the movie theater. What would you do if you're Earl Doobie? Would you take it as a bomb threat? Go back to the same workplace that you got fired for sexual harassment and tell everyone that was in there, your former employees that were working there, that you made uncomfortable with, especially to the females, the families that were just enjoying their entire movie, and even your boss who owns the movie theater has to deal with your shit one more time. This tomfoolery and dumbass act cost about $100,000 in wasted taxpayer resources over a fake bomb threat, caused Earl to be nationally banned from any AMC movie theater, and probably put him on a watch list of a 3-letter word agency. After that crazy shenanigans, Mr. Doobie himself would be sent to a mental hospital for about a week at Henry Ford's Behavioral Mental Health Institution, where he would be quote saying that they had some good fried chicken. Hey, you know what? This might be his redemption arc. If he can represent Henry Ford's fried chicken, maybe he can ease his appeasement to African Americans and stop him from saying the hard R word. Yeah, right.
You know, earlier I apologized to you for being a predator, and that was my mistake for calling you that. I should have never called you a predator. What I should have called you was a predatory groper. For that. There's a lot of things I could have called you that I didn't call you, and
he's gone. I'm gonna mute.
Let's go.
I don't even know where to start with you, Earl. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
like,
no, say your piece, dude. Say your piece.
My piece is that, at first, I thought that you're just kind of a piece of shit, but maybe it'd be one of those things where it's only surface level, but it seems like the deeper we go and we look at you, the worse it gets. It's like every time, just as people are about to go and forget about you, something way worse comes out. I mean, really, man. Really. 17.
I had no idea.
Why does that... that doesn't even really matter as much as 5 seconds of touching her and just sitting there like a dumbass.
But going through the whole fustercluck, things can't get any worse from here. Right?
First of all, they never said they liked little kids.
Their name is Lolly Lover, for Christ's sake. It doesn't get more on than it is than that.
Bowser, I want you to use that 110 IQ right here, alright? You say that they've never said that, but their name is Lolly Lover. How could you then assume that they're someone that doesn't like little kids? How could you do that? That doesn't seem to make sense to me, personally.
Well, first of all, I watch over the server, and I've never seen them attack any of the kids.
But do you have kids in your server?
Yeah, but I'm not...
Bowser, can I ask you a question?
I'm not attracted to kids.
Bowser, that other Discord server you had, were any of the other quote-unquote daddies caught talking to the minors or anything?
I knew I had to discuss this part, didn't I?
Potato, double-baked pot pie, rock soup. Dinner is dinner. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, you know what? This is what we were expecting. Right, every pony?
cartoons.
Laugh Tales. On the surface, it looked like an anime server where people would talk and show One Piece, but this server was showing more than One Pieces. To the outside, it looked like an anime server, but to the inside, a lot, and I mean a lot, of not safe for work content was shown throughout here. Everything from OnlyFans models without any censored bars, users would show dick pics to each other, cartoon hentai, all of it. Not a single user was spared from not seeing cropped corn, or full-on hardcore corn, or videos of someone having intercourse. And all of these users, if not most of them, were kids. Some being young as 13 to 14 years of age. Who is running this Discord server, you may ask, NateDawg? Well, it was Earl Doobie.
And you know what? I didn't stream porn to children, you idiot. I did not stream porn to children. I streamed cartoon hentai to children, you idiot.
The people on that Discord server, the users, and the moderators would call Earl the teacher or Daddy Butcher, in which they would VC and roleplay with each other in the most horrendous ways imaginable. And Earl jacked off to every second of it. Of course, everyone found out about this. People became so concerned with the children that they submitted it to the local police department. However, the police department couldn't do anything about it, because technically, Earl hasn't committed a crime yet. There is no victim involved. But in my personal opinion, the police have Earl Doobie labeled as a 43. What's a 43, you might ask? Well, in the police code, it means a mentally retarded person that just can't handle themselves, alright? Whether they call the police all day, Earl Doobie, is known to the public as a nuisance, Earl Doobie, and that doesn't have a job that lives off of government assistance. You kinda get my idea. And also the fact that Earl Doobie also likes to dox the private investigator he's working with. Like, why? This man is just a doxing machine. Of course, it's going to be very awkward with him and his private investigator and the police that are trying to help him with this case. This was all happening as soon as people were finding out about the 17-year-old Jane Doe and the Discord server. And at the second episode of 110 Autism, everyone would rip onto White Bowser. Even Kiwi, who was going to troll him at first, realized how much Earl was a piece of shit, not only to his friends, but to hundreds of kids on a Discord server, and for what he did to that girl. And Kiwi told exactly what he thought about Bowser.
I just want you to know, I do not like you. You are a pedophilia. You are everything that these people call you. And the fact that they started that you came to me and wanted to start a podcast with me, knowing the kind of shit that I cover, is fucking hilarious. And if you think that you're ever gonna talk to me again, or you're gonna get anything out of me, well, you're gonna be waiting for quite a few chihuahuas on a Monday. We'll put it like that. I'm never talking to you again. This podcast is never getting another episode. What about payment?
Yeah, man, what about payment?
Now, this wouldn't be the last interaction that Smokey and Kiwi would have. You see, they would both create the Too High for Stupid podcast, in which Kiwi and Smokey would talk about law cows, including the White Bowser, of course. However, Earl wished to be invited back to the panel, and so he did, just to try to prove his name. Just any ounce of reputation he had in this world would be gained back once again, but it didn't work out for him as he wanted to.
Smokey, you're full of shit, okay?
I'm not full of shit, Bowser.
Yes, you are. You are full of shit.
Bowser, we can...
You are full of shit. I am not a pedophile. I am not a predator.
You're a predator. You are.
I do not have to deal with your crap, you sick, depraved, degenerate.
But that leaves us the main question. Ever since that whole drama happened, the White Bowser has remained quiet online. And that brings me to another good question. Where is the White Bowser? Before Earl Doobie's disappearance, there's a few things I should mention before he completely went off the internet. After everything that was revealed about him, the groping of the 17-year-old and the Discord server, he made a YouTube apology. And considering all of the YouTube apologies that we've witnessed over here in the last decade, how do you think this video is gonna fare out to be? Well, spoiler alert, he makes an apology video, but a lot worse than I have ever seen in this platform. He would go on to dox the victim's full name, her twin sister, his boss's full name, all while preaching the word of God, dressing up as a Catholic preach. A final fuck you to the audience.
Bless me, O internet, for I have sinned. This is the White Bowser here, and I'm showing up for a confession on the internet. I've dressed up in full church garb, and we're gonna get straight into it. Now, what I'm going to discuss in this video will be full transparency. I've said this time and time again, how I've received forgiveness for my actions, but still doesn't matter to assholes on the internet. They don't care. You don't care that I received forgiveness for what I did. You don't. So, don't know really why I'm doing this video, but still gotta fess up for what I did. Still gotta confess my sins. So, I will now confess my sins. I started working at Imagine Macomb Theaters around January of 2019, and I worked there for almost 3 years up until June of 2021. Now, one thing you really have to understand is I enjoyed every single moment of working at Imagine Macomb. I had plenty of friends working at Imagine Macomb. Even my best friend at Imagine Macomb, who went on to become a supervisor in my stead after I quit Imagine Macomb, he said, Earl, what you did to case wouldn't even hold up in court because it was an accident, because it was unintentional. And that was one thing that I really never understood. How can I be a sex offender if what I did was unintentional? If what I did truly was an accident? She was 18 years old. And to anyone online who wants to say that I sexually assaulted a minor, you're wrong. And I know you're wrong. Because Kate's twin sister, her name is she was 18 going on 19 years old when this happened. So to anyone online who wants to say I assaulted a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 14-year-old, 8-year-old, you're telling lies. You're telling straight lies. You're only telling those lies to make you feel better about yourself. Me? I don't feel good about what I did. Why should I feel good about what I did? On June 24th, 2021, called everyone in the theater. He called everyone over in the theater to the corner of the theater to have a meeting. It was an obligatory meeting, which means you had to show up. I had to show up. I had to show up. I had to show up. Everyone had to show up to this meeting. Everyone did. You didn't have a choice whether or not to show up. You had to show up to the meeting. So, that was like the first thing that set the stage. You know, everyone was obliged to show up to the meeting. The human resources manager, Nick, made you show up there. So, everyone showed up to the meeting. This meeting was meant to close down the theater quickly, efficiently, and effectively. Nick was gonna assign everyone their jobs, and, you know, get the job done fast so everyone could go home fast. Now, most of you know this part of the story, okay? One thing that was customary to do during the obligatory human resources meeting was everyone would put their hand in the middle and say, "Go imagine," right? Well, didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do the Power Rangers-esque "Go imagine" bit. She didn't want to do it. I wasn't thinking at the time. I was foolish. I was stupid. I was. And I have to learn to forgive myself for what I did, but let me just explain what I did. Walked this way. I swung my left arm over, grabbed her left shoulder. She turned around, way too fast for me to react. My hand slipped. It touched her chest. I had never touched a boo-boo before. I was just sort of frozen in place. Now, I only, quote-unquote, groped her for 5 seconds, max. Doesn't matter. I still did something wrong. I still have to fess up for what I did. My first mistake really was when I grabbed her shoulder. I shouldn't have done that. I recall when I was talking with the general manager of the theater at the time, he said to me in a sort of fatherly-esque way, "You're not getting punished for your first mistake. Wasn't when she turned around and you touched her chest. Your first mistake was when you grabbed her shoulder." And he's right. He's right. That was my first mistake. My hand slipped and touched her chest. That's all I can say. It truly was an anime-esque moment. Kind of fitting since I'm such an anime nerd, but I digress. Because I was in shock of touching a boob. You know, the craziest part is that she was kind of a flat chest. She was like no bigger than a B cup. It was actually her twin sister who got the good genes. But we're gonna stop talking like an asshole. And maybe I really am an idiot. These past 5 months, I have tried my utmost damnedest to make people realize that I didn't mean for any of this to happen. That I truly am still disgusted with myself for what I did. That I still truly feel shame for what I did. And yet, even when I present all of you with the facts of the matter...
But on a higher note, do you want to know what the best part of his birthday was? Someone had the bright idea to send a fucking birthday clown to Earl and where he lives. And by this point, we already know where he lives, because he likes doxing himself on the internet. And you can imagine the fury in Earl after he realized someone sent him a birthday gram like this. And it wasn't even him that received it, it was his mother. Which is kind of funny, to be honest, because Doobie tries his best to twist it around and say that it was like a threat to him and his mother. Take a listen to yourself. Hey, look, I've come to deliver a message. The same one to Smokey and Kiwi. You people are coming to my house now. People or strangers with face paint and worse coming to my house and harassing my mother. This is no longer fun anymore. It's no longer a prank. Real people are in danger. I don't think you want blood on your hands. You are internet trolls, clearly, but you don't want people dead, do you? My mother was lucky enough they only had a cell phone on them this time. Next time, they could have a gun a knife on them. Next time, my mother might not have her life put in danger when they are at my door. This is a warning, so listen closely. I have told the police to make frequent checks at my house crossroads. If people showed up at my door again just to scare me, then they will be arrested and they will be prosecuted, and if you are found in the league with them, you will be punished severely. This all started with you with false accusations about pedophilia, Smokey. Fuck you, Smokey, you crack-hulking dickhead. I am not a pedophile, you fucking psychopath! Wow. You really wanna put money on that? Or really, Earl? Now, I have made mistakes. I've groped a woman by accident, 17-year-old. You can call me a degenerate all you want for that. But my mother's life is to be put in danger. You crossed the line. I have never groomed kids and never played upon minors. I am not a pedophile. That's a bunch of bullshit! And now my mother is being harassed by your gang. I'm done playing around. So if you don't want people to get hurt, or even worse, realize this. This is no longer funny. It's no longer some sort of sick prank. My life and my mother's life was put in danger yesterday. If you have any sort of conscience, you'll end this charade and stop this madness. I know you're a fucking asshole, and my psychiatrist and I agree. You are a drug addict dipshit, but you don't want people's blood on your hands. I have my doubts, but if you're a full-blown psychopath, then I still don't think you want to do this. And I don't want my mother's life or my house put in danger. Now please, for your own sake, come forward, tell the truth, and stop putting my life and my mother's life in danger. I'm blocking you again. This is a warning, and the police will be watching my house very closely and frequently. In the meantime, I'm gonna have some more chicken and jack off on some lolly. Now I know I meant that all parodic and statistical, but believe me, there's going to be more insane ramblings from Earl Doobie himself following the next part of the video. Now taking the no responsibility and blaming everything on the trolls type of route, Earl would find another friend. And this friend would be none other than Music Biz Marty again. What is with this lolcow universe that is so intertwined? Now obviously, it comes to fact that Earl Doobie and Music Biz Marty weren't friends. Music Biz Marty only played to Earl's game, and Earl liking any self-consciousness that he's being played like a fiddle. And after a while, Cyrax would also join the panel, which led to the following tomfoolery.
The White Bowser.
The White Bowser. How are you doing, Cyrax? This is the first time I've ever seen you on the camera, you know?
Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. Honestly, first off, White Bowser, I do want to say this.
Yes? Okay.
That I honestly, like, not trying to be offensive here, dude, at all whatsoever. I'm not. But, you know, like I said, I've seen the stuff that's gone on. And, you know, getting to actually meet you and stuff that's real, that's fucking cool. But I do want to say this, man. I do hope that you know that I have no hard feelings towards what you did. I get why you did what you did.
What did I do to you?
Whenever, like, Marty, what was it that you said they did? Like some sort of diss track or some shit a while back or whatever?
Yeah, I did a really awesome diss track. And
well, I'll do like...
I haven't heard you spit back, like...
Well, let me tell you right now, White Bowser, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, like, and this comes from somebody that's been doing music for over 10 years. This is somebody that actually has...
You've been doing music for 10 years, but have you made any money off of it? Like,
actually,
I only heard you've ever made $100 in a month. Like, that's not much
money.
That's
on Twitch.
That's on Twitch. Oh, so was it... So
no, but, and a lot of people don't know this, but on the back side of things, I actually have made money off of my previous music. And I'm telling you this because, you know, if you do want to get into music, hey, that's great. But I'm going to tell you this right now to kind of help you out. Learn how to spit better, dude. learn to keep up with an instrumental. Like you're off, I'll tell you right now, dude. You're off key. Listen, bro. Listen, you're talking to somebody that's done music and has actually been on major labels and has actually done shit, dude.
Well,
So oh, by the way, White Bowser, I know that you're. By the way, White Bowser and Marty, I don't know if you know this or not, so I'm gonna say right here and now, Bowser,
Okay.
I know you're a fucking pedophile.
I am not. No.
But you are, my friend. Oh, but you are. But you're not. Shut up, dude. You wanna know how I know?
You're raising your voice.
Nah, bro. You wanna know how I know you're?
Why are you speaking
Hey, Marty.
loudly?
You wanna know how I know, Marty? I did some digging, Marty. Just so you know, man, I did some digging on this guy for you. And you wanna know what I found out? I found out this douchebag decided to lure little kids into a secret Discord server and got them watching porn.
I don't think that's what happened.
Cyvax, you.
Hey, Marty, when you want to conduct, hey Marty, when you want to conduct business,
I can't.
Hey Marty, when you want to talk real business, and when you want,
yes, let's be off track here.
Yeah, I want.
Hey Marty, when you want to talk real business, when you want to dump this fucking loser of a fucking YouTuber and talk real business with somebody that actually has a business mindset. And when you're ready to get rid of these fucking loser-ass trolls, you let me know. Alright?
Wait, Cyvax, I wanted to ask. Darn it. Maybe I was too apprehensive.
But eventually, the relationship broke off when Music Biz Marty called out Earl Doobie for being a kid diddler. After this, Earl Doobie quote-unquote made his new channel, but in reality, he decided to delete all the videos that involved him, Smokey, and the trolls, because people were archiving it left and right. And he still wanted to keep his YouTube channel, so he decided to just rebrand it into some sort of anime music video channel. But he would mainly get active on the community posts, and would continue to go on nonsensical ramblings and schizo episodes on the following posts.
Oh, the police keep visiting my house every other day because they say that I keep getting calls, quote unquote, from my friends of mine, quote unquote. It's starting to get physically and mentally draining. You know, some of you should be grateful I made a full FBI report multiple times. I essentially said they have had 8 months to do this. They took so long, so I'm going to do it for them. I'm excited for law enforcement to show up my house with official search warrants. I will gladly let them know just so I can call your bluff. But hey, what did any of you guys really expect to happen next? All of you should have seen this coming. Not leaving me alone after I attempted chloride was grounds of something even bigger to happen next. And unfortunately, the FBI is going to take 30 days to respond anyway, so yeah.
Shrug text emoji. Hello, 911. What is the emergency?
I'm about to do a test run on how much Xantricia, whatever the fuck this drug is, it takes to stop my heart.
And then the next thing he posts is,
oh my god, I felt so fucking good. I spent almost an hour stroking my dick while watching Chihuahua on a Monday. I am never apologizing for this shit ever again. Fuck you all. Oh wow, was that a damn hard-on.
LMAO! And he would constantly just troll the trolls, supposedly. Heck, even himself said he was going to take down all of the lolcow channels covering him. He got in touch with YouTube about it. He even got in touch with the FBI, not in a groomer type of way, saying that all mentions of Earl Doobie and his family would be taken away from the internet. This still hasn't worked to this day. As much as he can try to abuse the copyright system, people will still remember him as being a pedophoric. However, after he deleted everything mentioning about him, trying to scrub off of anything from the internet, there was something concerning. This right here. A screenshot of Earl Doobie saying that he was going to work with kids, mental disabled kids, as a behavioral technician. But thank God, the army of trolls and A-loggers by calling the company multiple times and putting an end to this. And ever since then, Earl Doobie has never been seen or heard from the internet so far. Unless if you pay him in a paywall just to see whatever he's doing, a paywall that you can find on his website, but I'd rather you not pay a predator. I also want to mention that Earl Doobie's email is still up. I'm not encouraging you to email him either, but one of my close confidants and associates was able to email the White Bowser himself. I would show you the whole feed, but it's honestly just Earl Doobie just rambling about his thoughts of Sudoku and how much of a health advocate he is to many people, which he hasn't even worked a thing in his life, to be honest. Trying to deflect of what happened to that girl in the movie theater, and trying his best to deflect on everything that is wrong. At one point, Earl Doobie stopped replying, and my confidant was getting impatient. So he asked him multiple times just to respond within a 4-day period. And Earl did respond, this time with a topless anime child. Like, come on. Are we even surprised? But with all of this being said, I think I need to conclude this video. Like I said earlier, you're gonna find something on the internet you didn't expect to find yourself so deep in a rabbit hole, like I myself and other people have. And originally, when I was watching from the sidelines, I thought Earl Doobie was just another log cow, someone that was just making an ass out of himself, and so did Kiwi, Smokey, and everybody else. But as soon as we dug deeper and deeper, the darker and the darker the hole got. Even his co-workers would state, I just want to add a few interesting tidbits about Earl. I left the job a bit ago, and I got some interesting things to share about Earl himself. I never interacted the guy personally, but a good portion of his workspace know about Earl's antics, and he is not well liked by many. He's already walked out of the job once, but the last I heard, the union company Kroger works with has bought him back. Workers aren't even allowed to talk about the White Bowser situation as it's considered slander. Yet I have heard he checks out obviously underage girls, and some co-workers have even expressed about feeling uncomfortable around him, especially the women. Earl also supposedly got into a loud verbal altercation with a customer over food samples or some shit. I don't know, I wasn't there to witness it. This just shows to me that Earl is just unstable, both inside and outside of his home, to the public life and on the internet. Let me have Smokey quote these words so you can remember them yourself.
Everything about him, it's asked to be about other people. I don't care who else, like, I don't care about Bowser's, like, beef with certain people or stuff like that. He seems to think that, like, everyone cares, like, oh, well, Kiwi and Smokey don't have any new videos out on me, so, like, ha ha ha, like, it's not the point, Bowser. The point is that you did all this creepy shit in the past, and you think that we shouldn't have videos out on you or nothing like that. Like, these acts you've committed, this shit you've done, it needs to be documented and all that.
And I know you're watching right now, because you said yourself that you have a Reddit and a YouTube channel just for lurking. Earl Doobie, you even made these Urban Dictionary terms and definitions. You are sick in the head, and it's gonna take more than Henry Ford chicken to heal you. Now, I want to try to end this video positively. I have tried to research so many times, and I have stopped just to take a break, only because I have seen the horrors of what Earl Doobie has done on the internet. But overall, what I think of Earl Doobie, also known as the White Bowser, is that he can't tell from reality to fantasy. It's not the fact that he just watches anime girls and jacks off to them, and his only excuse is that it's just a cartoon. He does this because he's trying to normalize it with that type of context. He can't tell what is the difference between the law and what he thinks in his mind. He can't decide from fiction to reality. He has done it once by groping that girl, and now he'll do it again if we give him a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're covering Earl in general, keep it up. Don't stop. What you are doing is God's work to keep this diddler off the streets. and especially off the internet. And speaking of which, Earl Doobie, if you're watching this, going back on the quote that you praise so much on your website that I have mentioned throughout this video, weakness is defied as your failures rolling over you. Strength is defied as rolling over your failures. Throughout this video, you have let your failures show throughout your character and personality. You know, I guess since we worship the same God, I think this quote is more suiting for you. A fool who repeats his foolishness is like a dog that eats its own throw up. Proverbs 26:11. You might claim that you're a teacher or some sort of godly figure among the sheep, but in reality, you are among many false prophets that prey upon children. And wolves among sheep like me will know exactly on who you are. Nothing but a monster. This video took very long time to make. And this was just as fun as making the Cyrex video, which you guys love. Over 30,000 views and over 1K likes. Really helped me grow my channel up to 1K where I can start monetizing, huh? It really helps me with some support. And speaking of which, you can support this channel by giving a sub and a like. And also, I am opening Patreon. And only for $1 a month, sneak peek videos, some content ideas, and you can even be charged of the next video. So please, feel free to do so. It's not required, but it'll help me a lot. It'll feed the dog. But with all of this out of the way, I'm glad that you made it to this part of the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I plan to have some more content piping out the pipeline real soon. And I hope that you would have a day.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Captain Lou Albano talking to you about drugs. Anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
I don't believe any of that is true.
Welcome to hell!